phone rings at like 8 o'clock in the morning. 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm asleep on the couch because honestly, there's nothing in the entire house except me and the couch and the phone that's ringing. I don't know why anybody would be calling at 8 o'clock in the morning. 8 o'clock in the morning, I pick up the phone, and it's my business partner, and he's telling me that a plane has just crashed into the side of the World Trade Center. Doesn't really know anything else. It's just there's video all over TV, except I don't have a TV because I don't have anything in my house because I'm in the process of moving. This was, of course, 9/11. I put the phone down, start getting ready to take a shower and head into work to close up our office, which is what I was doing, which is why I was in town in the house with no furniture in it. I was there to sell my house and close up the office. I get ready to take a shower to go back into work. The phone rings again. 15 minutes later, it's my business partner again. Another plane has crashed into the side of the World Trade Center, and chaos is ensuing. Bedlam is, of course. This is 9/11, and it goes on. I was moving. And I was closing up my office. I was moving from Tupelo, Mississippi to Brentwood, Tennessee. We were closing up our office that we'd been in for a handful of years now, and we were going to go to working from our home office. I was literally about to start working from home in my underwear. I had just signed the largest mortgage that I had ever signed in my life. To me, it was all of the money in the world. I bought a house in Brentwood, Tennessee, worth twice as much as the house that I was selling in Tupelo, Mississippi, which I hadn't sold yet, so I still had the mortgage on that. And I still had another house in Memphis, Tennessee that I owed half as much again on because I had it on a rental property. So I've got 3 mortgages. I'm closing my office, entering the great unknown, going to be working from home, and all of a sudden the world comes to an end. I'm, all during that week, I'm eating out in restaurants. I'm in Tupelo for the whole week while this is going on. I'm eating out in restaurants, and I see these videos of everything that's going on, but I never actually get a chance to live it because I don't have a TV at home, so I didn't get immersed into it like everyone else is. But it's going on, and my wife and daughters are already living at the new house in Brentwood, and they're starting school, and they're going through their life, and they're going panic because they don't know what's going to go on. Nashville is an international city. There's lots of Middle Easterns that live here. It's actually one of the largest Iraqi communities in the country, and just outside of Nashville. So we were scared to death for that. We didn't know what was going on. Didn't know how it was going to work out, and I was especially concerned because I was uprooting. Not only had I borrowed all this money, now I was uprooting my entire family and my entire business to work from home. And I know this week, this month. Everyone's got kind of a similar story. We're all going kind of through this thing right now with the coronavirus, and everyone's scared. Everyone doesn't know what's going to be going on. Some people are laid off or furloughed or not working at all, and some people are working at home, remotely for the very first time in their life. And so, if you are one of those people who are now either furloughed and you find yourself at home, or you've been set on remote only and you're working by appointment only, and now you have to work from home and you really don't know what to do about that. If you're working from home and you think maybe you might kind of dig this, I want to say welcome. Welcome aboard. I know house arrest is kind of a new thing for everyone in the country. Everyone in the country is under house arrest, but it's not a new thing for Terry. I've been doing this for a good long while. I've been on house arrest so long. I have an ankle tan where my anklet's supposed to be for house arrest to keep me in fine. I've been here a long time. This is not new. So I've been doing this for 20 years now. I've been working from home. Helping car dealers sell more cars, helping them with their advertising, helping them with their marketing, helping them with their sales, helping them with everything that has to do with marketing cars. I've done everything except sell a car. And so I'm going to be telling you over the next 10 to 15 minutes how to sell more cars, make more money, have more fun working from home in your underwear. And I've got the audacity to tell you how to sell a car, even though I've never once in my life worked at a dealership, never once in my life sold a vehicle. What I have done is I helped thousands of dealers sell millions of cars by doing exactly the stuff that I'm going to tell you to do because I've been working from my home. If I'm an expert in anything, it's an expert on working from home in your underwear, and you don't even want to know what I've got on down here below. So we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about how this relates to you, because specifically because your job description is changing. If you've been in the business of selling cars, you need to take a good long look at what you are, because I would proposition to you that you're not in the business of selling cars. You're in the business of marketing the sales of cars. You're in the business of marketing yourself. The truth is, you're in the business of making relationships and building a better version of you to help more customers out. So we're going to talk more about that. But the first thing, before you can start working from home in your underwear, before you can worry about what business you're in, before you can worry about building relationships and building your personal brand and anything like that, social media and video conferencing and all the stuff that we're going to talk about, you have to know, you have to be ready to accept that we're going to get through this. We got through 9/11. We're going to get through this. We don't know what it's going to look like on the other side. Anybody who tells you that they know what it's going to look like on the other side, they're probably trying to sell you something. I don't think anyone knows what this is going to be like when we come out the other side, except I'm pretty sure of one thing. My buddy Mike Carrera put a video up on Facebook the other day, and he says, we're going to get through this because all those cars that people are driving are wearing out. And even though people aren't driving as much right now, when things turn around, when things start up again, when the world starts to turn, everyone's going to need a car. Question is, what are you doing now, today, to be ready for tomorrow when everyone's going to need a car again? So we're talking about being in touch with your people, about staying in touch with your people, about building these relationships, about being in the relationship business and not in the car business, about thinking yourself as a marketer and not a salesperson. And marketing basically boils down to hand-to-hand combat. And if you're doing anything right now, if you want to do anything right now to set yourself up for success when we come out of the other side of this, you need to start today staying in touch with your people. Staying in touch with your customers, staying in touch with your employees, staying in touch with your coworkers, staying in touch with people in your community. You need to stay in touch with them because you're in the relationship business. You're in the people business. You need to keep your network going strong because your network is your net worth, same as it ever was. So you need to be in touch with the people in any way you can. Now, I'm a Facebook guy. Facebook is the 800-pound gorilla. I'm always talking about working on Facebook and managing your Facebook contacts, and I believe firmly that Facebook is it's ubiquitous, right? It's like network TV. You're going to reach almost everyone in the population has a Facebook profile. So Facebook is a great way to stay in touch with them, but it's not the only way. I've been doing this for a long time, even before there was such a thing as Facebook, and Facebook has been a tremendous value to me. But I was working remotely from home in my underwear a long time before Facebook became a thing. And the way I got through all that, the way I got through 9/11 and started working remotely, and the way I've been doing it for 20 years is by staying in touch with people continuously in every way that you can, in every way possible. I've got customers that I've been working with for 30 years. I did a radio spot last week for a guy in South Carolina. I've been doing radio spots for since the early 90s. Since the early 90s, I've been doing radio spots for this dealer for one reason. He knows me, he likes me, he trusts me, and I stay in touch with him. I stayed in touch when by phone, when phone was how you had to do it. I had to stay in touch by email when you had the email. I stayed in touch by Facebook when we joined up on Facebook, and I sent out cards and letters and flyers. My basement, actually my garage, which is what I call the Instant Events warehouse, where I keep all our advertising stuff from the ad agency. I've been running from home for the last 20 some odd years. It's all out there in the warehouse, and I've got stacks and stacks and stacks of different flyers and different postcards and different letters and mailers and stuff that I've sent to car dealers across the country all this time, making sure that I stay in touch with them, making sure that I stay in front of them, making sure that my name continues to be top of their mind because I'm not there with them. I don't have a big building set up. I'm not out in the public every day. I'm in the same situation you are now, except I got here by choice a long time ago. I have to stay in front of them in any way I can, whether it's by phone, whether it's by mail, whether it's by social media, or whether it's through an old-fashioned postcard that it's in there. I do everything possible to make sure that I stay in touch with them and continue to maintain that influence and relationship. And one thing I've read that is that every month that goes by that you do not connect with a customer, you lose 10% of your influence. So if you're not staying in touch, you're losing ground. You have to pedal harder right now to stay in touch, to keep where you are, so that when we do come out this on the other side, you've got people to talk to. You've got customers standing by who know, like, and trust you, who are ready for you to help them. And that's the big thing we need to remember, that it's not about you. You can't be reaching out constantly trying to tell them all about you and tell them about what you're doing and what you're going through. You have to do that. Your story is important, but you have to remember that everything you're doing is about them. If you're in the relationship business, it needs to be about how you can help them. How you can make the car buying experience fast, fun, friendly, and fair. How you can make sure that their safety is protected during this trying time that we're going through. How you can deliver the car to their front door, even though that you've never done that before. For the last week, I've been interviewing salespeople and sales managers from dealerships around the country, talking about what's been changing. What's changing? Well, we've got all this going on right here in the car business, and the overwhelming answer I talked to Marsh Weiss down at Mark Dodge the other day, and he says, Terry, listen, we've been doing so much remotely lately for the last little while that it's really not that big a leap for us. Yeah, we're delivering cars and we're working deals on the phone, we're working deals on the internet, but that's what we were doing anyway. That's the way the business has changed. And now we just need to wrap it up. And this is a great advantage for people who hadn't really got fully on board with those processes yet, because now they have to. Now the time is now. You have to jump in and fully embrace the digital concierge and home delivery and superstar white glove experience, because that's what people are getting now. And that's what people are going to be expecting when they come on the other side. So you need to start building and maintaining those relationships in any way that you can, offering above and beyond service, so that when people do get ready to buy a car this week, next month, next year, whenever it comes down, whenever the world settles down, the wheels start turning again, you are the obvious choice. Now, if you don't have a job right now, you can't tell them where they are. If your dealership's been shut down, you don't know where you're going to be. But you know the people you sold cars to. You know the people in your local community and the friends on your Facebook page, and they don't even have to be local. I talked to another guy, Greg Potts, and he started doing this home delivery stuff, and now he's excited. He said, guys, I got a bunch of friends scattered all over the country that I haven't really sold to before. But if we can start doing this, I can deliver to anyone. So he's looking ahead to the next stage about taking it nationally and selling to friends, because he just moved to the little town in Georgia where he lives now. He hasn't lived there that long, so he has friends where he's lived in different communities throughout the country over the years. So he has this network of people who know, like, and trust him, that he's going to be available to whenever they're ready to buy a car, because it's not about you, it's about them. And one thing I don't want you to forget too is we can't do a lot of it now, but think about, staying in touch with your customers in any way you can, whether it's by phone, whether it's by email, whether it's by postcards, whether it's through social media, like I said, but also don't forget about in-person networking, about meeting people in person. I had one of my favorite interviews I ever did on the Get You Some radio show. It's a guy named Nathan Hayes over in Missouri, and he's a huge local networker, goes to all the Rotary Club meetings and the business meetings. And when he got into the car business, he was trying to decide what he wanted to do with his life. And he had a couple of offers to jump into the car business and was kind of leaning against it. But he was going to these networking meetings, and he started looking around. And every meeting had three real estate agents, or three mortgage brokers, and a couple of different insurance agents. So these people were all in there, but he didn't see any car salespeople. Car salespeople don't really go to that sort of thing. But he started doing that because he saw that this was a target-rich environment. So he took a job in the car business, and now he works those local networks, these local networking meetings. I know Mike Columbus. Mike Columbus is a big believer in BNI, and his entire group, his store up in Washington, they go to BNI meetings, and they have a salesperson go to each one of the BNI meetings, and they've got the automotive seat locked down for the entire city, and they're members in these networking organizations, and the other members of these networking organizations are contractually obligated to send them customers. That's their job. That's the whole purpose of it, is they have to send you customers. They have to refer you to people that they know, like, and trust. So we can't do a lot of the in-person networking now, where we're doing the social distancing thing. All these meetings are canceled. But when the world starts turning again, make sure you're meeting people locally. Because I tell dealers all the time, if your salespeople do not have an active, engaged social life in the local community, that's just not a social problem for them. That's a business problem for your dealership. You are missing an opportunity by not being socially connected and by not having your salespeople socially connected. So make sure you're doing that. And if you can't do that now, the one thing you can do is we can do it more on video. I talk a lot on the Get You Some radio show and everywhere else people listen to me about embracing video. About working video into your sales process and into your communication process. And with all the stuff that's been going on these last couple of weeks, everyone now has jumped in totally into the video thing. I live in a house full of women. All my wives and daughters. My wife and all of my daughters are teachers. Well, one daughter is a student. She's still at university, so she's taking all of her classes now online. My wife is a teacher, and one of my daughters is a full-time teacher, and they're both conducting both of their classes online now. My wife's been doing story time for she teaches 3 and 4 year olds. She's been doing story time for the 3 and 4 year olds, and my daughter is a kindergarten teacher. She's been calling up her kids on Zoom or FaceTime, wherever else, however she can get them, so they can see her face to face, and the kids just eat it up, and they eat up the story time live. I've taught my mom and dad how to Zoom over the last couple of weeks, how we can video conference so they can see everybody. So video has been a big deal, because for a salesperson, there's no way to communicate your humanity by looking other people in the eye, face to face, belly to belly. How you can get the emotion and the intonation, and they can see your big winning smile. And there's no other way to connect on a human level without actually being there, as well as with video. Video is a whole 9 yards. So I'm a big believer in video, especially with the changes that have been going on in the car business and so much being done remotely. There's a chance, and some people are looking at this opportunity that everything's going to be done remotely. So I know dealers who have done this. Actually, in the last couple of weeks, they put into place these digital retailing things, click to drive or click to pay or buy online, the whole buy online digital retailing thing, and they're using that to eliminate salespeople positions. They're trying to do that as much as possible, and then they're giving those sales to people who are paying $10, $15 an hour to deliver the cars. So if you want to protect yourself against that kind of thing, against the onslaught of digital retailing that's coming with this, make sure you're putting yourself in the middle of the situation. Yeah, you're not going to get away from digital retailing, but you can make sure you're the person holding their hand and helping them through that and helping them figure out exactly what to do and work out any kinks or problems, so they're not complying completely on the robots. If you want to beat the robots, you're going to have to embrace the human connection, the human element, and video does that better than anything. So now that we're stuck at home and you have to be working from home like Terry, go ahead and embrace some of the video tools that you got. Facebook Live is a great video tool. I know Bo sells cars over at Foothills Ford in North Carolina, and he started doing Facebook Live videos, and he set up this program where he was doing a live video every day. And when he started doing it, he was just another salesperson there. But within 45 or 60 days, he took over the #1 spot at the dealership, became the salesperson of the month in a dealership that had had the same salesperson of the month for the last 2.5 decades. The same salesperson had been dominating everything, and now Bo comes along. He starts just producing Facebook Live videos, telling people about him, about himself, about his story, about the store, about his bowling shenanigans, about what he does for fun. He keeps it human. He's not a Hollywood starlet. He's just a good old boy from North Carolina. But he talks about what he talks about, and he makes a human connection. And people have driven across state lines, driven past dozens of Ford dealerships to come buy a Ford from him because they got to know him on video on Facebook Live. I mentioned before about joining local networking groups. One thing that I've been doing, I really love networking in person. I'm not a big networking. I don't like to go to meetings. The thing that I've really found my niche in terms of networking in person is to have a one-on-one coffee with people. I'll get together and meet with them. I don't have that opportunity now, but I do have the opportunity to meet with people one-on-one on video. And so what I've done for the last couple of weeks, since I can't get out and meet people in person for a cup of coffee, is I've been doing much more regular versions of the Get You Some radio show, where I'll interview a car dealership, or I will interview a car salesperson, or interview someone else, do a quick 5-10 minute interview, not a big 30-minute interview like I've been doing, but just do a quick 5-10 minute interview about what's going on with them. Just try to connect. So you can sit down and you can publish that like I've been doing, and to turn it into a podcast and release the video and help some other people in your community maybe promote themselves by telling what's going on where they are and how they're struggling to survive through this, and helping them share their story. Or you can just do it, just do it off on camera, but offline, so that everyone can't necessarily see it, but just so that you can sit down and have a virtual cup of coffee with someone from the local community. And I promise you this, I know people here in Nashville who've done this, who've completely changed their careers. If you will commit to having a virtual coffee or an in-person coffee when the world starts turning again, with a member of your community, a person who lives near you, who's going to drive a car to get there, because everybody drives a car to get there. If you can virtually connect with them right now, just sit down, have a 15-20 minute chat, share your story, share their story, make sure they know who you are, and that they've got a friend in the car business, and that you can help them or anyone else who needs their help. Who do you know? Who do you know who's in the market for a new or used car? That's Fran Taylor, my buddy Fran Taylor. That's his big line. Everyone you talk to, ask them that. Who do you know who's in the market for a new or used car? And if you will have a virtual coffee with with 100 people, start doing it now. Do one now, do one next week, one every week, do a couple times a week, whatever. But if you'll just sit down and have a cup of coffee when the world starts turning, or a virtual cup of coffee right now with 100 people, get to know them, help them share their stories, find out how you can help them, who they're looking for in their business, who you can point in their direction, and make sure they know who you are and that you're their friend in the car business, and ask them that question. Who do you know? So So there's Facebook messaging, there's video conferencing, there's Facebook Lives, there's Zooming, but there's video messaging. Facebook Lives are broadcasting to many, and there's teleconferencing where you're talking one-to-one. But Facebook messaging is the most human part of it. It's just one-to-one, and it's literally like leaving a phone message. And this is one of the fastest growing ways to stay in touch with your customers. There's with people. There's several companies who have set up to make it very easy to do this. I think Flick Media is one, and I think they're one of the sponsors for Rockstar. So and QuickPage is another. Or you can just set up on YouTube and do some messages. But my favorite way to do it is, because again, I'm a big believer in Facebook, is I talk to my customers and my friends and my family on Facebook Messenger, and I can send a 20-second video on Facebook Messenger literally by opening it up, turning it there, hitting message, click, push record on that, and just leave a 20-second message. Now, what I planned on doing was leaving a 20-second message to someone while I was actually recording this, but I'm recording it on my phone, so I can't actually record. But I am going to challenge you to right now, while you're watching this, we'll take time to do it. Pull out your phone, because I know you got your phone there. If you're not watching it on your phone, if you are, you can flip me over to the side and start another one. Start another tab there, and just flip over to Facebook. Think of someone that you haven't spoken to in a couple of days, whether it's a customer, whether it's a member of your family, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your mom, whether it's your dad, whether it's an employee that you haven't seen at work because you've been at home for a couple of days. But think of someone you haven't spoken with in a couple of days that you're connected with on Facebook. Open up to their profile, click message right there, and that's going to pop up with the message thing, and then there's a record button. Put it on, click on video, and then just hit that record button. And you've got about 20 seconds to leave a message, and it's just as simple as leaving a voicemail message. I don't want you to think about it any more than that. But click that button, stick the phone up, and tell somebody that you love them. I'm going to pretend that we're calling my mama. Hey, Mom, it's Terry. I'm recording a video telling everyone that they need to call their mom and let them know that you love them. So I'm calling you to tell you that I love you. I hope everything is well. Give me a buzz when you get a chance. Love you, Mom. See ya. Boom. I guarantee you that'll make your mom's day. It'll make anybody's day if you'll call them, check on them, let them know that you're thinking about them. Tell the people that you love them. So go ahead and do that now. Finish that up. Send a video to someone, and through the course of this, as you're staying in touch with all of your customers, with all of the people that you know, and that's the great thing about being in the car business too. Everyone you know is a car buyer. Everyone who breathes air has bought a car at some point, and they're going to be buying another car at some point. So everyone you know is a potential customer. Just make sure you know more people, make more friends, sell more cars, and stay in touch with them in any way that you can, especially using video. So send the video message. I hope you're through with that. If you're through with that and you still got your phone out, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to text the word Terry. Text Terry to 33777. Text Terry to 33777. What I'm going to do is, for everyone while this is going on, Matt, thanks again for putting this deal on. Everyone who's watching this in the next 72 hours from when Matt releases the videos from the Rockstar Auto Conference, everyone who texts Terry to 33777, I'm going to send him a copy of my book. It's called Better Self-Help for the Rest of Us. And it's not really about sales. It's not even really about, I'm going to put that back up there. It's not really even about business. It's about being a better you. It's about being exactly who you are, only better. One step at a time, one minor adjustment at a time. And I read a quote the other day, and I was actually talking about this on the podcast. I read this, and I think this is the most applicable thing that you could say right now. Being fearless, precisely when you're the most scared, is the world's best hack. That's a quote from a guy by the name of James Altucher. And everyone's scared right now. If you're not scared, you're not paying attention. So everyone's scared, or should be scared right now. No one knows what's going to come out of this on the other side, but something's going to come out on the other side. And you can sit around and you can be, woe is me, the dealership's closed, we're not selling any cars, I'm not making any money. Or you can use this opportunity, this brief window of time we've got right now, to lay the groundwork for something coming out of the other side of this. So to lay the groundwork for something big for you, whether it's staying exactly where you are, serving more customers, or becoming a bigger version of yourself and being better. Being better, at the end of the day, being better is your full-time job. So you can be scared, or you can take action now and leap. And make sure you're doing the things that we talked about. Make sure you're staying in touch with your customers, making it easy peasy for them to contact with you. If you haven't Facebook friended every single human being you know who lives within 25 miles of your store, you need to be using this time to do that. Make sure you're connecting with them on Facebook and any other platform that you can. Make sure you're sending video messages to people. Make sure you're staying in front of them so that when the time comes, they know who to call. When 9/11 happened, I didn't know what was going to come out of it. All of a sudden I had 3 mortgages. I was hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. No idea. I thought the world was coming to an end, but the truth is, in short order, they started pumping money back into it. That's when 0% came out, and car dealers were advertising left and right. My business exploded, probably tripled in size over the next 18 months after 9/11, because I just accepted what had come to me. The biggest change I did make is I started saying yes. Somebody called me and wanted something. Yeah. Oh yeah. I can do that. Yeah. Yes, we can. We can do that. So we made it through 9/11, and we made it through the 2008 crash because of the financial markets, because we stayed in touch with our people. We stayed in front of our dealers. We let them know how we can help. We like I said, I've got a garage full of marketing materials we've been sending out for 20 years down in the archives. And when they needed help, we said yes. Whatever you need, I can do that. So whatever you do, keep pedaling, keep moving forward on this, just like riding. I took this opportunity this week to try to teach my 21-year-old daughter how to ride a bicycle. She never learned when she was little, so we've been working on that this week. And the most important thing is, no matter how scared you are, no matter how wobbly things seem, how the lack of certainty, how everything looks like a black hole straight up in front of you, you got to get on the bike. You got to keep pedaling. You got to keep moving forward. You got to keep connecting with customers. You got to keep the connections with the customers. You have to keep pedaling, and you have to be a better you. So I'm gonna give you a challenge. I'm gonna give you a challenge to end this for today. When you go home, when you shut off this video, you should send a video message a while ago to your mom or whoever. I want you to think about this. I want you to close your eyes right now. I want you to think about 5 people. 5 people who've bought cars from you before. 5 people who live in your market and maybe have never bought a car from you. 5 members of your family who have never bought a car from you. 5 friends of yours who've never bought a car from you. I want you to picture 5 people in your mind who you can help with some of their automotive needs. And this week, I want you to reach out to those 5 people by video, by postcard, by whatever. I want you to reach out and let them know who you are, how you can help, and they've got a friend in the car business. My name's Terry Lancaster. Thank you so much. You've got a friend in me. If there's anything I can do for you, text Terry to 33777. You're going to get a free copy of the book. You're going to get subscribed to the Get You Some radio show, and you're going to have me owing you a personal favor. However I can help you, please let me know. Love y'all. Be safe. Take care of yourselves.